Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. Shonen Jump dropped a little bit early this week, I guess because it's going on break next week for the New Year's. So usually when this happens, usually before like a holiday break that's planned in advance, usually we'll drop the chapters a couple of days early. So don't have too much to cover because I think most of the series are still on break, so we only got the latest chapter of Kane Banashi to get through. Apart from that, Spy Family will also be out this weekend, but at the regular time on Sunday. So look forward to that. Apart from that, I'm going to get around to the next two planned read-throughs I promised when I did them last week. So I think we've pretty much gotten close to covering or finishing up the last batch of these read-throughs I'm currently doing. So we got through the last volumes of Battle Angel Alita Mars Chronicle that are currently out. I know the next one's coming out in February sometime, I want to say. So look forward to that coming back out when the next volume drops. Apart from that, I've done the first bit of Black Hammer as well. I know there is like a sequel kind of series to this that kind of picks up and like does a whole new plot line. But given how lackluster the ending to the first one was, I'm not really sure I want to cover part two on the channel. So that might be something I just read on my own time, and then maybe I'll post like a short review video with thoughts regarding that. But apart from that, so it's time to dive into some new read-throughs for the new year. So happy New Year as well before I forget to everyone. I want to thank you all for supporting me on this channel thus far. I hope I will hopefully have your continued support for this coming new year as well. Back to that with read-throughs, so we're getting around to Monstress today, and I'm very excited for this. I've been looking forward to this volume for a long time, especially after the last one. Apart from that, we'll get around to the next volume of Bride's Story as well. And then past that, in terms of new read-throughs, we're going to start covering Berserk on the channel going forward as the next major read-through. As you can already tell, it's on my bookshelf behind me. I have all the deluxe editions. So this is a series that's been highly acclaimed, both in fandoms, critical circles. Also, a bunch of my friends have highly recommended it. I've read a couple of arcs of Berserk like years and years and years ago. Because it was so hard to find like the completed volumes and stuff in my library, I never had a chance to get around to fully completing it. Especially with Mura's kind of untimely death and everything, I just never had a chance to get around to it. It's always been on my TBR. I've always wanted to kind of go through and kind of understand like what all the hype and everything was about. So I really look forward to covering that on the channel going forward. So a lot of good stuff going to be coming your way. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But without further ado, let us dive into it with Monstress Volume 9, The Possessed. This time I actually do have my tablet handy, so I'm going to try my best to kind of showcase the art and everything going forward. I know there's a bit of glare on it, but fortunately can't do too much about that. But yeah, Monstress Volume 9, The Possessed. We have Chapter 49. It seems this is a flashback, so we pick up with, like all these soldiers like desiccated corpses with the life force sucked out of them. With Micah going, I've been thinking a lot about family. I never did before. My mother was the only family who mattered. There wasn't room for anyone else after her. She made sure of that. Maybe deep down, that's why I killed her. I know, the others say it was an accident. But Tuya, you're the only person who'll understand that maybe it wasn't. That's what kept me in the darkness. That's what's got us all trapped on another fucking world. Me wanting to die because I couldn't face that possibility or forgive myself. But you know what, Tuya? I'm beginning to think I can live with it. Because I have to live. I've seen what happens when I let despair eat me. I see what gets taken from me. And for the first time, I understand that I have too much to lose. The goddess loves a good joke, doesn't she? Well, so do I. You and I were family, Tuya. Sometimes I think we still are. When I kill you, I hope I'll be able to live with that too. And you see, the fuck? You have, the Flotsam Awakens. Yeah, fucking because last time they're in the fucking little stasis chamber and everything, right? And you see Micah and Kippa both looking just completely desiccated as they're greeted by, was it Old Tooth and one of the commander's brothers, Zamura. Was it Kenzie? Kenzie and Seizi, I can't remember which one's which. And yeah, it took you long enough. Well, thought maybe you'd gone soft. And you have Old Tooth going, no, Commander, the half-wolf just needed sleep. Look at her eyes, she's ready to fight. It's like, yeah, she never was a morning soul, was she? You know, Cupid just getting all excited. It's like you have putting a blanket on her. It's like, Old Tooth, is it you? It's like, indeed, but careful how you move right now. You could cause yourself a worse injury. Oh no, it's a Soury. Ah, yes, it's the mother, alright. And you have Micah going, Aunt Soury. It's like, Aunt Soury, I've heard of her. She's Saisy's mother, isn't she? And a pirate queen? And Old Tooth is like, she's more than that. Get some fish broth in you. Mango juice with chill. Is that supposed to be with chill or chili? Oh yeah, mango juice with chili. And Soury's like, look at you, Wolf. Nothing but skin and bones, salt and fire. And Micah's like, and teeth. It's like, sharpen those teeth and get ready for some tough meat. You've been unconscious for almost a year. And Kip was like, a year? But we were only gone for days. And you have Ren going, no, they warned me. Time is different in Golga. And Soury's like, Golga? That is a name I did not expect to hear, nor wish to, ever. And Kip was like, it's where the old gods live. And Old Tooth's like, Commander? And Ren's like, did other cats arrive here? They would have seemed strange. And Micah's like, a year. The last time I was awake, Ravenna had just been destroyed. Are we at war, Auntie? And Soury's like silent before she goes, not war, whelp. Annihilation. You're back in the Spice Islands. What you're looking at are the last remnants of the Federation Navy, along with all the Arcanic ships that survived bombings in Pontus and Theria, and whoever else managed to sail or fly here from the mainland. And you have Kippa going, Goddess, even the Federation is here? And you have Old Tooth going, it's one of the last safe places. For now, we're too far away to be in danger, too deep in Wave Empress territory, but that won't last. And Ren's like, Ubasti, Adora, is this what you wanted us to return to? What was the point? And Micah's silent before she goes, what happened, Auntie? It's like, you tell me, whelp. It's like, I've been in a coma for a year. What would I know? And Soury's like, from what I hear, plenty. Because it's your old god has been killing everyone for the last 3 months. Oh, fuck, because Wolf got him back into him again, didn't he? It's like, many in power believe you're behind this war. It's like, but that's impossible. Not in her, but that's impossible. Not if her body has been here. She can't be separated from Mr. Monster. It hurts them terribly. And Soury's like, is that so? Then where's the old god now? And you see as they're heading onto a ship you have about to jump out from behind that mast. And Ren's like, that can't be right. Where are the others? There have to be others. We were all together at the end. And Micah's like, Auntie, I haven't been under your care this whole time, have I? And she's like, no. You miscreants came to me by special delivery, right when the old god began rampaging on the mainland. And Micah's like, Zin has been taken from me. I don't know how, but there's only one person who could do that. And Kip was like, oh, miss, your father. And Ren's like, yes, terrible, and we're all fucked. But where are those blasted world-walking cats? Who else came through with us? And you see that Ren's got like a little scar like right down the middle of his chest. He's like, where's the mask fragment we took from Golga? What's going on in there? What's going on in there? You have some ruckus with a few strange cats, soldier types. He's like, I was inside praying when the fight started. They claim to be world walkers. Probably got their brains scrambled in the mainland. You see like deeper inside the islands. And one of the cat temples. You have world walkers like in the stories? It's like, come on, fish. This is stupid. We need to get home. Yeah, it's time to start prepping for the supper rush. It's like, Lila, wait. It's like, I want to see them. Let me just pull this up quickly on the pages, and you see all the cats from before kind of staring at them in the market. And you have, please, this is a sacred site. Put away those weapons. It's like, if I'm not firing, that means they're put away. It's like, I assure you we're not agitators and we are not crazy. What we need is aid and information. I do not understand why that is the cause of so much strife. You have to forgive me because it's been so long I cannot remember their names. Which you have, because world walkers do not exist. And there's no such thing as a star temple of Ubasti. You must understand we've been overwhelmed with displaced. It's like you are far too polite, priest. Of all the desperate tales I've heard these last few months, this is the most ridiculous. Worse, you're armed and scaring cats who've already seen enough violence. You should be ashamed of yourselves. And you have one of the other pirate cats going, maybe we should have stayed on Golga. Are you sure we're home? And one of them's like, the world's purr is the same. I can feel it in my fur. And you have the armored one going, poet, I would sooner lose my tails than feel shame for speaking the truth. And you have the red-robed cat going, if you could prove that you're a world walker, you have, do not indulge her. It's like, I wish we could, priest, but it's not that simple. Besides, I've seen Jaggerath out there on the street. Ask them, they're starfarers. It's like those behemoth fake mockeries of a cat? They're arcanics, fool. Jaggerath are another blasphemous tale. And you have, I cannot believe I wasted time on this absurdity. Priest, show them out. And you see the purple cloaked cat just walking away with, I'm glad the poets haven't lost their arrogance. That at least hasn't changed. And the priest's like, I'm sorry. You seem very convinced of what you're saying, but you must understand that world walkers are, well, not a myth exactly, but might as well be. No cat has had that ability in thousands of years. Ubasti in her infinite wisdom saw fit to eradicate it. You have world walkers were exalted. We had temples, colleges, cities even. We are the reason that even now cats exist across the universe. We saved this world from being devoured. And we're nothing but myth? We're extinct? He's like, again, I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. The war must be horrific. You all look as though you've seen terrors. But you'll have to remake your lives like every other cat who's come here seeking aid. And stories about having dead powers won't give you a step above any other. It will just make things harder. And you see how they're all exchanging looks. There's like, you see one of them giving the guards the finger. It's like, Redeemer, we've been gone from this world too long. It's like, yes, but something else happened. No world walkers in thousands of years? That's impossible. And you have the necromancer Ren proves that much to be true wherever he is. And you have the other cats outside whispering, is that them? Have you ever seen armor like that? It's like, well, right now we have bigger problems. No coin, no contacts, no shelter, no reputation. We're fucked. And you have, excuse me, are you really world walkers like you swear on Ubasti's tales? Yeah, sorry, I just see the minor fishing cat from before. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry, going too far. You see the minor little like fishing cat from before, just talking to them. He's like, Goddess save us. Like, we are and I do. He's like, that's so amazing. He's like, fish, stop being naive. This is all make-believe. And you have the Jaggerath forgotten themselves too? And the cat's like, why did you call me that? It's like, because that's what you are, child. And he's like, Lila, you okay? And the cat's like, if you're hungry, our families run a bar. Maybe they can find you work. And Fish is like, oh, you're definitely not okay. Here's the next page with a sin as Micah wakes up with a gasp. She's like, no, no, no. And she's like kind of scratching her ass where like the little eye symbols disappeared. And you have so now you care? After years of trying to throw away your gift? Be careful what you wish for, little wolf. And you see like a little like psychological representation of her mother along with her child self. He's like, here, I'll help you finish the job. After all, you serve no purpose now. And she grabs the little child self, like breaks his neck and tosses it aside. And Micah's like, bitch. It's like, there's my wolf. It's like, I'm not your wolf. And you see like Micah waking up and she's like, oh, that's Kippa in a chokehold. He's like, miss. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, it's like, you were having a nightmare. You didn't mean it. And you see, miss. It's like, use your eyes, little fox. What do you see in me? And you see as Kippa kind of like, her eyes start glowing. She sees like a representation like the monster from inside like these hungry mouths. He's like, well, it's like that bad. It's like, I don't know, miss. I see the shadow of the mask on you and other things. But you're still you. You just need to put the pieces back together again. And Micah's like, let's get some food in you. It's like, you too, miss. And you see her poor little stomach's like gurgling. It's like, it's dangerous for you to get too hungry. And Micah's like, And you see, Papa, don't worry. We'll find a place to sleep tonight. I heard there's work sorting fish down by the docks. It's like, dunno. They got humans working there too. Could be Kumea. They might try kidnapping us. It's like, I miss the quiet days. I hate all these strangers. It's like, I hope the Amura sisters know what they're doing. It's like, bah, the Wave Emperors don't want the mainlanders to reach our Spice Islands, they won't. This is her will. Jeff, oh, delicious. And you see as they're having a little feast. He's like, can we order fish now? It's like, no, and drink slowly. You'll hurt yourself. And Micah's like, it'll take at least 2 weeks for you to begin eating normally again. Ren's like, you're quite the expert. It's like, it's not the first time I've almost starved to death, cat. Jeff, miss, what are we going to do? It's like, eat, hydrate. We have to get strong. It's like, but... It's like, I don't know, Fox. Too many unknowns. No clear picture of what happened. I'm not even certain who's an ally anymore. It's like, we need more information. Yes, some of that will be here in these cafes and bars and all the public spaces where people talk. We listen, we learn, we focus on healing. And you will tell me everything you know about my father, assuming you're not still working for him. And Ren's like, I'm not, I swear on Ubasti. And you see Pokemon's like reaching out to Micah with, I hope you're okay, Mr. Monster. If you can hear me, we love you. And you see like Micah just like wiping away a tear as Old Tooth's like, the commander found the person you need to speak with. And she's like, they have the mask fragment we lost? It's like, sure enough. It's like, Sowery's guards weren't subtle. She ordered a lot of eyes on us. Are we in danger, Old Tooth? Or does she not trust us? And Old Tooth is like, I don't know the commander's mind, Half-Wolf. And you see Kippa's eye just glowing. She's like, Miss Old Tooth, you're lying. It's like, put away those strange eyes, Kippa. It's one thing to see deeply into the ocean. It's another to reveal her secrets without permission. And Ren's like, Half-Wolf, you want to know about your father, but he only gave orders, never explanations. And she's like, I saw a photo of me and you in his fortress. And he's silent before he's like, you were an infant. I looked after you from time to time. It's like, why you? I believe he thought I was harmless. I'd come to him starving, wounded, begging for work of any kind, no matter how low. It wasn't an act. I've been exiled from my temple. Please, don't ask why. But I was broken and desperate. I went to the Lord Doctor as a last resort because I knew two things. First, he wasn't cruel to cats. And second, if I could stay in his household, my proximity might eventually put me in good graces with the temples again. Excuse me. And Micah's like, why? He's like, there's a sect of poets and necromancers who have always watched your bloodline. Your father was of some concern because his blood seemed more awake. What I realized later was that it wasn't the blood that it was awake. It was him. His intelligence is terrifying, Half-Wolf. He is impeccable, ruthless, supremely confident. He does not believe he can fail at anything, and so it seems as though he never does. And Micah's like, did your plan work? Did your temple take you back? It's like, yes, I spied for them, and then they compelled me to spy on you, as did your father, though I was more circumspect about what I told him. And Micah's silent as he goes, are you going to kill me, Half-Wolf? And he's like, why bother? Kippa would probably fight the underworld to save your ass. He's like, oh, well. It's like, do those cats still think you're loyal to them? It's like, I don't know. Perhaps, but it's been a long time since I checked in. And Micah's like, find out. Give those cats the report of a lifetime on me. I don't care what you have to do, because now you're my spy. And we need to know what they know about what my father has been up to. It's like, Half-Wolf, you can't possibly trust me to... It's like, shut up, Ren. You know what I trust? That you're loyal to Kippa. Do this for her, not me. And you hear Old Tooth and Kippa calling back with, Miss, Master Ren, come on, you two. He's like, okay, I'll do it. And she's silent as he goes, Half-Wolf? He's like, I know you will. I remember this place. When I ran away, I hid here when my mother finally tracked me down. And you hear, it wasn't just you hiding, like, and you see Fish Boy, Fish Girl has matured into a very androgynous looking shoujo protagonist. It's like, it was both of us. And she's like, Areika? It's like, you remember me. As she slowly walks up. Jeff Flotsam reunited. Now let's get on with it. And you see as they're walking in side by side, you have, why are you here? And Areika's like, this is my home. I came here after. And Micah's like, why not Theria with your family? The Siren Queen was your aunt. And Areika's silent before going, I heard the mask fragment was stolen from her, that she was killed for it by Inquisitrixes. You must have known she had that fragment because of me. And Micah's like, I wondered. You fled with it from the tomb. My mother told me before she died. And Eureka's like, I'm sorry she passed. I know you had a difficult relationship, but I liked her. It's like my family wanted me to spy on you and your mother. That's the only reason we were allowed to be friends. And Micah's like, not really a secret, Eureka. It's like, I know, but when I finally found my way home and met with the Siren Queen, that was all she cared about. She wanted to know what happened in the tomb. I wouldn't tell her. I fled instead. The rest of my family never even saw me. And she's like, why would you do that? It's like, we were friends. I might as well have been dead. What did it matter? It's like, dead or alive, I wasn't about to betray you to people who didn't even love me. Besides, I always imagined you'd get a good laugh. Me coming back to this place. Oh God, are they gonna fuck? Come on. It's like, I don't have any laughter left in me, but I'm glad you came here. More glad than you know. And Eureka just kind of leans in and smiles and goes, here's something else you'll love. I'm a scholar now, a historian, an expert in all things to do with the Shaman Empress. And Micah just laughs, like, oh, fuck you, and just go die and die. It's like, that's right, Micah. And see, all things can be reborn, including laughter. God. And you have Miss, the fragrant from Golga is here. And Altu's like, I beg you, stop using that cursed word. It's like, a week ago it appeared at the dock, caused a minor explosion, burned anyone who tried to pick it up. I recognized the damn thing as soon as it was brought to me. Stumbling over my words here. Moriko's obsession made sure of that. And as he has Micah reaching out to you, you have Eureka going, Micah, careful. It's like, it won't burn me. And you have this old scholarly looking cat guy in there with, so this is the result of the Shaman Empress's ancient experiment? And Micah's like, I'm going to pretend you weren't looking at me when you said that. Now she picks it up, he's like, fuck. And Ren's like, something's changed, hasn't it? It's like, it's hurting me. That's never happened before. And Kippa's like, I bet it's because Mr. Monster is mostly gone. And the cat scholar is like, fascinating. You will let me interview you later, yes? I must know everything about you, even down to the level of pain you just felt. This is a priceless opportunity for a scholar of ancient lore. It's like, after all, the lost mask of the Shaman Empress is considered to be one of her greatest and most mysterious inventions, though you might be the most extraordinary of them all. And Mike is like, listen, that crazy bitch made weapons. There's nothing extraordinary about that. You see, just, sorry, I know it's kind of hard to see a little bit, but the cat skull. Let me see if I can put the brightness back down again, sorry. I kind of have to keep futzing with this just to see how well it shows up on there. Because I know if it looks like this, it just gets like all reflective. I need to find a better way to use this. But you have Scholar Sean. There's a text I think we, as you see, like all of this, just like trying to get a carrot, trying to walk him away before he gets hurt. He's like, oh, but, and you have a weapon, is it? What kind? Anything we can use? Micah's like, maybe. Eventually this can control the old gods. And Sauri's like, huh. And Kippa's like, oh, I'm not sure that's all there is to it. And he's like, so what kind of weapon are you, whelp? Everything your mother dreamed? It's like, doubtful, Auntie, but I'm what she deserved. And Eureka's like, you're always more than that. And Sauri's like, be who you deserve. It's like, you always gave good advice. And you have Commander. And you have like these three like commando tigers coming in. I assume these are more of her daughter, brothers, whatever. And you have, there's the wolf, that bloody abomination. It's like, time to stop stalling, Mother. You can't put this off any I knew it. Off any longer. The council is waiting. And the Wave Empress wants what is owed her. Hopefully an eye for an eye. And Michael's like, the fuck is this? And Sauri's like, daughters, hold your tongues. We are navigating savage waters here, and you know what that means. And you have Orange Hair going, patience, cool heads. How can you ask that after what happened to Seizi? Because of this cursed wolf. And Mike like, what's happened to Seizi? And you see come again to gloat. You see Seizi's all chained up in a prison somewhere. You have Master Wolf going, not at all. I just thought, or Dr. Wolf I guess it was, I just thought you'd be pleased to know that my daughter is awakened. And now the real war begins. As you have chapter 50. And now we go back inside Zin's mind where he's kind of like trapped within some like red threads, like trapping him inside like the ancient sarcophagus. So you have for eons, for eons entire, how I wished for sleep, never to wake, drifting without memory. Memories are endless, entanglements of despair, and yet, even so, I did not wish to die. Child, I think you finally begin to understand why. For it is not fear of the oblivion beyond all knowing that fortifies my will. It is instead a ferocious, glorious hunger, a consuming belief that I can still be surprised. And you hear Kippa's voice with a, I hope you're okay, Mr. Monster. It's like, for what is my vast sleep but an interlude between possibilities? Oh, that's such a fucking banger line. We can hear, it's like, if you can hear me, we love you. It's like possibilities beyond dreams. Possibilities rare and magnificent. And he's like, a strange thing, this bond between us. Lovers to the same woman, fathers to the same daughter. It's like, child, I live for those possibilities. I will die fighting for them, for they matter more than misery, more than shame or suffering. Is he back in the prison cell with Sazy going, I'm puzzled you think of it at all. And he's like, I always think about power, and there's no more powerful hold than blood and love. Alas, I have only the blood, you hold the love. It's like, not even that much. We both know Moriko's heart was unfathomable, dead even more so, and Micah barely remembers me. And Wolf is like, Sazy, you and I are both old pirates. You of the sea, me of the land. We can pierce nuance, or else we would be dead. My daughter will come for you. And Sazy's like, she'll come for the power you stole from her. It's like a power she never wanted, a power she has fought against at every step. I think not, Sazy. She will come for you, and she will fight out of love. And you have Zin going, I wonder, does the child, loving another as a father, disturb you? You, who claim to value family above all else. And he goes, love has very little to do with family. After all, did you love your child, Zin? Wasn't she just a means to an end? And he just kind of grabs a little eye tentacle and goes, huh, you didn't like that, did you? How curious. And you have a father, as the robot shows up and like sleeps in, or I guess the beast was what the name was. He's like, be silent, you mean. It's like, the beast goes, I don't trust the old gods. They're too compliant. And the father's like, they had accepted my mastery over them. It's like, your mastery looks very different from the half-wolves. And the beast is like, you usually hide your doubts. It's like, this time is different. You took back the old god before you were ready. You haven't been yourself. And he goes, daughter. And the beast goes, the Dust Court envoy has arrived with everything you requested. And you have, how sensible of them. I pick up back with Mike as they're swimming underwater. So just pull this up really quick. And you have Arika going, don't blame yourself, Micah. It's like, listen to them, miss, they're right. It's like, bullshit. Sazy went looking for me. I can't believe he was so stupid. And Kip was like, that's the same thing you say about me, miss, every time I try to help you. And Mike was like, because putting yourself in danger for me is idiotic. It's like, you've said that before too, but you always put yourself in danger to help me. And Arika's like, you're grumpier than I remember, Micah. Don't let the wave court see that side of you. And Micah's like, good luck. It's come serious. Everyone is frightened, even if they won't admit it. It will make those ancients even more dangerous, so act like your mother. She knew how to turn on the charm. Oh, God, I love these designs. And you see them just getting for this council of ancients below. And you have the Wave Court has always removed itself from the machinations and tragedies of the Dusk and Dawn Courts and the Federation. But now, the Wave Empress has commanded we offer refuge, while an old god ravages the land and the boundary of the prison cries out across the skies. Unsettling, for who is to say this war will not reach us too? Would you not agree, granddaughter of the Wolf Queen? You who stand at the heart of this mystery. And Micah's like, unsettling? It's fucking terrifying. And if Zin is being used as a weapon, then I know exactly the kind of devastation being wreaked upon Arcanics and humans, and whoever else gets in my father's way. So let's not waste time with barely polite preambles. I know what I have to do to stop this. The question is, are you going to let me do it? And Eureka's like, so much for charming. And Oltu's like, dunno, I'm charmed. And you have one of the daughters going, you dare? How can we trust you? And Sari's like, Tana. It's the orange-haired one is called Tana. It's like, your exploits are notorious, half-wolf. And you see the old, grizzled-looking hammerhead Arcanic going, you do not wish us to waste time? So be it. The Lady Tana speaks the truth. We do not trust you. We know you destroyed Constantine and all who lived there. We know you started this war in Zamora when you attacked the Kumeya and their stronghold. Because of you and that infernal invention of the Shaman Empress, the Siren Queen died in Theria, my sister. And you have you rampage through the Dust Court, slaughtering its citizens. And Kip was like, she wasn't awake for that. And you see Oltu just like putting a hand over her mouth to silence her. And you have no doubt there are other crimes you've committed. You could be working with the Lord Doctor. You could be controlling the old god even now. You cause endless suffering. And you see Micah silent before she goes, and your brother Sazy is one more casualty. And you have Tana with a snarl trying to go for her. And Sari holds her back with, remember yourself. We are in a conclave of the Wave Court, in the holy temple of the Wave Empress. And you have the mermaid sister going, it would be an easy thing to kill you here. You cannot breathe underwater, half-wolf. And she's like, whatever makes you feel better, Siren. But if I die, my father will keep that old god forever. And I'm nicer than he is. And you have, let us say for a moment that your father took the old god from you while you slept. And you have Tana going, Mother? It's like, how are you so certain you can wrest that power back? And Kip was like, because Mr. Monster wants to be with us, not her father. And you hear an ahem. And you have Valan, who's like the envoy, the seahorse-looking envoy guy from before, going, if I may speak. Well, let me see if I can just pull that up quickly here. Yeah. So you have the seahorse-looking envoy guy from before, going, well over a year ago, you sent me to the Blood Court to observe and report. The purpose was to assess with whom the Wave Court should ally themselves. The Wave Empress herself has intervened to take that choice from us. For now we stand apart. We offer refuge and nothing more. But I have spent time with the Lady Half-Wolf and her father, and I tell you, she is not allied with him. Not then, not now. She is her own wolf. And you have Sari going, I was Queen Consort of Theria before I became Queen of the Seas. The Wave Empress herself anointed me, and I would stake my hands, swords, and heart on this wolf. And you have Eureka going, and I. And you have the sister going, be silent, you shouldn't even be here. And Eureka's like, I am a member of the royal family. I have a right to speak. And you have Old Tooth going, I support the half-wolf too, with all my scales and teeth. You have the hammerhead ancient going, daughter, really? It's as would Seizi Yamura. He left after all to try and bring her home. And you see like just looking over to the side, just like seeing all of her friends, like family lined up to support her. And Micah's like, I've done terrible things, it's true. Some of them I meant, some I didn't. People always got hurt around me. I'm no good. But you need someone who could stop my father and an old god from conquering the known world. You need me. And you see back with the temple as Ren is meeting with the poet. And you've come to the wrong place, Ren Mormorian. Or rather, it should have been the right place, as the necromancers do have a lodge in the Spice Islands. But they're all gone. Every available necromancer has been dispatched to the mainland to help the temples in their efforts to evacuate cats from at-risk cities. I'm surprised you're not there. And he goes, special assignment. It's like, yes, well, I'm thankful. Us poets are spared from battle. We'd quote proverbs of the enemy before getting our tails chopped off. And he's just picking up like a little spice, little mouse and eating it. He goes, I remember the last war. Us hiding in the trenches, summoning ghosts of the newly dead to attack humans and terrorize them. and I lost count of the spirits we questioned just to see what they could forecast about future Federation attacks. It's like there are no better prognost, prognosticators than the dead, I hear. I don't know what the hell prognosticators, I have no idea what that word's supposed to mean. Now, if there's nothing else, I'm afraid I'm quite busy. You know what, let me look up prognosticator. Okay, so this prognostication is the action of foretelling or prophesizing future events. Okay. Now, if there's nothing else, I'm afraid I'm quite busy. And he goes, the poet Jedalia Bonetail from the temple in Theria. Did she evacuate here? He's like, you know her, Eminence? He's like, I report to her, but the war has disorganized all communications. It's like, she's not here. She refused to abandon her post in Theria. It's like, I need to get a message to her. If she can be contacted by radio, it's urgent. It's like, in the meantime, what does your network say about what's really happening with this war? The thing Arcanics don't know. It does like, what's a little secret symbol? Inscribes a secret symbol into a cake. This guy, have clearance. And she's like, oh my, this is all so unexpected. It's like, but you do receive reports. It's like, of course, I'm in charge of Ubasti's largest temple here in the Spice Islands. The poets are gravely concerned the war could span the ocean to even these territories. We all know that the Blood Court began attacking the Federation well over 6 months ago, working in alliance with the Dusk and Dawn Courts to push back humans in Kumea and destroy their border cities. The Doctor took the city of Aurum as well as Zamora and Constantine. Kumea, who weren't killed in battle, were taken as slaves. But then the Abomination appeared, apparently in service to the Doctor. And the first cities that things captured were Pontus and Theria. And Ren's like, I heard about bombs being dropped, not that an old god's infernal energies were used. And he's like, pfft. The Abomination revealed itself looming over the city, but not like the other imprisoned ones, no. Can you imagine everyone's horror that this was no ghost? Some cultists ran right for it to be embraced and shriveled up like ash. Everyone else fled. The Doctor dropped a few bombs for good measure, and then he took both cities. The Shaman Empress has a lab beneath Pontus, you see. He's like, yes, I do. How have the ancients reacted? And she goes, most have gone into hiding. We cats know where they are, of course, but they've abandoned their academic children, or they've abandoned their arcane children to the mercies of the Doctor. However, there are rumors that some of the Dust Corp might commit to peaceful surrender. We don't know what the Doctor's offered them. And Ren's like, why would they trust him? And why would he let ancients anywhere near his own forces? He's like, I agree, it makes no sense. He's like, so no one's fighting? He's like, have you been living under a rock, necromancer? It's like, something like that. He's like, the warlord same as always, perhaps one or two defectors from the Blood Court. They have an army, but what good is it? Except for one thing only cats know. Whatever his methods, the Doctor cannot control the Abomination for long periods of time. It exhausts him. He pretends it does not, but we have spies on the inside. Summoning the Abomination has a cost. Ren's like, a weakness. It's like, thank goodness, so the entire known world would be ash by now. Instead, the Blood Court and their Abomination beaten at a whim on both the Federation and Arcani clans, destroying some cities, sparing others. It's like, yes, I see. It's like, well, I'll have one of my apprentices attempt contact with Poet Bonetail's temple. You'll have to excuse me, though. There's much to do around the temple these days. I never knew there were so many mentally infirm cats in the world. Just this morning, there was a group claiming to be world walkers of all things. And Ren's like, world walkers? Where the fuck are they? You see in Fish's little thing, you see them all just like either helping to cook or like cut up some fish. Being put to some menial tasks. That's kind of adorable. Yeah, honestly, I'm not hating life right now. It's like, thank you for the work. We needed it quite badly. It's like, the help was welcome. More kin here than ever. And my granddaughter has good instincts. It's like, yes, it had something to do with calling her a Jaggerath. It's like she mentioned that. An ancient name, one that is rarely spoken out loud. And you have, it's forbidden, Granny Thekla. It's like, by who and why? The Jaggerath are revered warriors and starfarers. And the grandmother's like, I wouldn't know, I'm a simple arcanic. And you all act as though you don't know yourselves. And she's like, maybe you are world walkers. I might almost believe it. And Jeff, Priestess Redeemer, thank you, Basta, you're alive. This Ren just like bursts in. He's like, fuck me, why'd he have to show up? I like this job. And you have back with Micah and Kippa, you have, Miss, something is bothering me. It's like, what now? It's like, you haven't told anyone about what we saw in Golga. You've always said that the old gods are a bigger threat than any war between the Federation and Arcanix, though we can't waste our energy on fighting each other. And she's like, it's too late, Kippa. No one is going to listen. They weren't even listening before. It's like, but now everyone knows about Mr. Monster. Wouldn't it be easier to convince people? To convince them of what? That there's even more danger? It's like, then convince your father. It's like, I tried that once. He wasn't concerned either, which means taking back Zin is the only chance for us. That I trust. She's like, fuck me. He's like, Miss? It's like, how come people need to lose everything before they see themselves clearly? It's like, oh, Miss. And he's like, oh, God, Kip was so adorable. It's like, hugs her. It's like, I remember how much you wanted to get rid of Mr. Monster and me. He's like, you had chance after chance to be free. It would have been easy for you. He's like, not really. When we first met, I had nowhere else to go. Then later, I realized you needed me, even if you didn't know it. And it felt good to be needed. God damn it, she's gonna make me fucking cry, bro. Jeff, but now you're my home when she cries. Like, when you see Micah's also just tearing up. It's like in homes get broken very easily, Miss. And Micah's like, Kippa, I'm going to put our home back together. I swear it. And you see, as she's sleeping, Micah just goes out on the balcony to watch the sunset. And you see, as Kippa's sleeping, she kind of like drifts off into dream world. Yeah, so this is the one my sisters speak of. Jeff, hello? Yeah, remember, small fish go where leviathans cannot. Small fish swim into the Oh, Christ, sorry, just zoom in if I can. Into the tenebrous depths, deep, deep into all the hidden places, and there in secret they grow. What is tenebrous? Let me look that up. So tenebrous is dark, shadowy, or obscure. And it's like, what do they become? It's like, that is up to you. But sometimes, small fish become titans who remake worlds. You have, not again! And you have Kippa just having like this little nightmare. And she imagines who imagines either the Shaman Empress or Micah, and have just like saying or something else. It's like, the mask isn't what they think it is, Kippa, and neither am I. And you see back in the real world as Micah whispers with a, Miss, be careful. And you see Micah just heading out as she goes and like falls asleep on the beach and just whispers Zin's name as Eureka comes by and like sits next to her. And you see in the dream world you have, Zin, can you hear me? Zin! And she goes up to like the little mausoleum temple thing. It's like, what did you want? Why did you make that mask? I don't believe it was just to help Zin and their kind. I think you and my mother are too alike for that. And you see her like talking to the Shaman Empress's statue. And you see the little doll saying, this way, hurry. You have Zin! And she picks it up and you have child. And she kind of like transports to where he is. He's like, do not touch me. He will feel it. He's like, but if I can rip these off, maybe you'll be free. And he's like, it is a trap. Before you awoke, I was not bound like this. It is why I could contact you through flesh. But now he waits. I can hide you from him a little while, not for long. And she's like, where are you, Zin? Where's the old man? It's like, north. But will he come south? Perhaps, if only to tease you, draw you out. She's like, why? To kill me? Now that I'm awake and could take you back? Like, he does not believe you can. He is certain his hold on me is complete. He might be right. And he's like, I don't believe that. Neither should you. He's like, child, this is your chance to be free. What you have always wanted. He's like, don't tell me what I want, you old fucker. He's silent before he goes. Then remember, you have the advantage. You are his greatest conflict. He will not admit, hides it from himself. But I know that feeling better than he. It's like, Sin. It's like, he has a second trap. Your other father. It's like, Sazy, he's alive? It's like, keeps us both near. You must leave. Someone draws near. It's like, Sin. It's like, tell the fox I heard her. It's like, tell her yourself when you're free. It's like, you say you won't kill me? It's like, little fool. It's like, let's prove it. And she's like, I'm here, old man, you crazy fucker. It's like, hey! And Zin's like, child, can you not feel the danger? And you see a gasp, you see like this purple energy as like half the mask just like manifests on her face. It's like, the mask, those voices, so loud, so close. And you see a baby Micah just screaming, run, run, run! And you see back, and the thing is like, Wolf has his eyes closed, he goes, daughter. And she's like, blood just pouring out of his nose. And while there are no records of their first meeting as the Shaman Empress went alone to the Shadowlands, it is clear that, and you see that one of the automatons is nearby just monologuing, and Dr. Will's like, what is this? Why am I here? It's like, Lord Doctor, you asked me to recite the known history of the Shaman Empress and her consort, the Runner Proxy. And he's like, I already know their history. It's like, well, perhaps you needed a refresher. It's like, Zin, awake. It seems I underestimated you and my daughter. I should have felt her mind close to yours. Instead, you made me forget myself just now. And Zin's like, impossible. You have bound me. It's like, I will force the truth from you, Zin. It's like, you will discover nothing, for nothing was done to you. Instead, you attacked your daughter. He's like, I did no such thing. So, but you are being truthful. I can feel it. For behind the truth, you hide something else. You're loyal to Micah, and yet I gave you more than she ever did. You starved with her, always weak and hungry. And he's like, all have limitations, including you, it now seems. In the beginning, the child also lost time. It is not a weakness, just a reality you must accept. And he's like, never. So you have an excerpt of a lecture by Professor Tamtam, former first record keeper of the Ishami Temple and learned contemporary of Nimram Blacklaw. You have necromancers are notoriously secretive when it comes to their power over the dead, but what is common knowledge is that cats are either born with the ability or they are not. It is a fragile gift and must be cultivated as soon as it is discovered. Necromancers take no chances. By temple law, all parents must present their kids for testing, and if a young one shows promise, they are taken from their families, who almost never see their children again. It is an honor, say the necromancers, and for many it is. Indeed, there are families who ply their kids with elixirs that are rumored to enhance a cat's ability to sense the spirit world in the hopes of encouraging this difficult gift. But it is also known that other families bribe the appraisers to spare their young ones, while others go to extreme lengths to hide them away until they are too old to be tested. To be a necromancer is not an easy life. Their gifts come with a cost. What that cost is they will not say, but few necromancers reach old age, or sleep easy, and when it is their time to die, rarely is their passing peaceful. So you have chapter 51, and you see a gasp as Michael wakes up with a start and going, Sin! She's like, Goddess! And Eureka's like, hey. He's like, stop, don't touch me. It's like, you're having a nightmare. It's like, none of your fucking business. It's like, but why suffer alone? So, because you don't know me, Eureka, and I don't know you. Shit, I forgot you existed. Even when I saw your face in a photo, I didn't know you. So, you shouldn't be so kind. And Eureka's like, I've been waiting half my life to be kind to you again, Micah Half-Wolf. I never thought I'd have the chance. Remember the library at the Federation Military Academy? It's like, you'd hide there. Not much has changed, I guess. So I like my odds of survival around books. In the archives, I found a collection of letters from a human arms dealer to her wife. She wrote something that kept me going after the explosion, when I was fleeing alone across all those thousands of miles. I really hope this is not setting up death flags for Eureka, man. I really hope so. My eternity, when there is no way, you follow the way in front of you. What's in front of you, Micah? I was like, that's right. She's like, you. It's like, that's right. And others who stood up for you today. Probably out there who will be glad you're alive. You're not alone. So it's not that easy. It's like nothing ever is. But the goddess saw fit to deliver you home to the one place where you'd have help. There's a reason for that. And you have Micah, and she sees like a little child just running nearby. And as Micah falls after, he's like, "Hello, are you one of the guards? I know I'm not supposed to wander, but I couldn't sleep." Oh, God, and you see one of the baby Tuya clones. He's like, "You won't tell anyone, will you?" And Micah just like this angry look, like surprised look on her face. It's like, "What's your name?" It's like, "Yuta." Oh, fucking Christ. Can never escape Jujutsu Kaisen. It's like, "Yuta." It's like, huh. And she walks back to Eureka. It's like, "Is everything okay?" It's like, "Eureka, how did our bodies get here? Me, Kippa, and Ren. Who bought us?" It's like, "A woman. I heard she was very elite. I never met her. She departed immediately, but left that little girl in Saori's care. The war and all." And Micah's like, "That fucking bitch." Is he back with Saori and the Federation commander? Yeah, here are the latest dispatches. Jeff, thank you. If you could deliver this to Captain Ferris of the Storm Howl, I'd appreciate it. It's the commander, there are Kumeya on that ship. It's like, in fact, Dill, there are Kumeya on every Federation ship in our harbor, as you well know. It's like, I don't feel comfortable being near those witches. Their kind killed my family. And he said, the Kumeya killed countless Arcanics and mined our bones for Lilium. These are crimes that will not be forgiven, but we must put aside the agony and work together for peace. Such is the will of the Wave Empress, who granted the Federation Navy safe passage to these islands. And you see little monkey boy just looking like put out as he goes and grabs the note from the commander. And she's like, "Thank you." And as he leaves, Saori's like, "I need a drink." It's like, "I need 100 drinks." Like, "This is why you should let me move my fleet. Our presence is causing too much strife." Saori's like, "No, I won't permit the Federation to separate themselves from us." It's like, "Commander, there is zero interest among my captains to launch any sort of attack on your vastly more powerful ships. Most now have altars to the Wave Emperor set up in their quarters, the sort of thing that would have had them executed back in the Federation." And you see Saori just pours him a drink as they kind of do a toast. And she's like, "Oh, I know. It won't be long before your people never want to leave this place." And the commander's like, "I lie awake at night thinking of that. It's like the old days before the wars, when we all got along." And Saori looks outside and sees Areka and Micah coming back and goes, "What was can return again, but never the same. I understand your concerns, Admiral Burrito, but it's important that my fleet, my people, my daughters, and the Wave Court look out at that bay and all other anchorages and see the Federation outnumbered and outgunned. That we can sink you at a moment's notice is keeping the peace." Said barely. Said barely is enough for now. Jeff, "Commander, my apologies, the half-wolf." And you see Micah pushing away and with Seizi lives. It's like, "Thank you for your time, Commander, and the drink." And Saori's like, "We'll speak again tomorrow, Admiral." And as Burrito's walking out, she's like, "I know your face. You're in a photograph that reached the Prime Minister's desk. She wanted to know why the Mother Superior was obsessed with you." It's like, "Simple. I kill witches." It's like, "Any word on where the Mother Superior is these days?" It's like, "Far north, Damarung or Grimhaven. Most of the Kumeya fled there with her. The ones with Edenite tendencies gave up the cloth and retreated here to the Spice Islands." And you see as Saori pulls Micah and she's like, "So Seizi lives. Your intelligence is good?" It's like, "From the inside. I trust it completely. My father is going to use him against me." It's like, "No doubt my soft-hearted son would rather die before that happens." And Micah's like, "Seizi is not going to die." It's like, "Bold words, whelp." It's like, "The Wave Empress doesn't respect anything less, Auntie. You taught me that. I don't think my father knows yet that I have this information, but he's awake. He's aware I'm awake. We should also assume he knows where I am. And like his spies are here. We caught a messenger gull last week carrying coded reports that we haven't yet deciphered." And you see how the Micah cuts herself and drops some of her blood into the glass and puts it, I assume, in front of like a statue of the Wave Empress as an offering as she prays. So my father will try to get my attention. Contact me to set the bait. I have to make a move before he does. Draw his focus away from here. And you have Saori going, "Reckless is not a plan, whelp. So it's better than waiting for his airships to drop bombs on these islands." And you see Saori also doing the same, dropping her blood into the cup as an offering. Jav, "I won't fix this by keeping distance from him. She's like, when will you leave? It's like, as soon as you give me a vessel. I don't need a crew. I can sail on my own to Pontus. And she's like, bullshit. And she'll go to Theria, not Pontus. Kenzie has been handling our affairs there. And Michael's like, how? The Blood Court took over. It's like, Wolf, that city has always been ruled from below. And I was once queen consort. If you think I didn't secure my influence and learn Theria's deepest secrets, you're a fool. And she's like, can Theria be retaken? It's like any city in the known world can be clawed back from your father, with the right weapons and alliances. But only if the old god isn't his to control. That is your first priority, not my son. And Micah's like, agreed. One more question, Auntie. He's like, what now? Did the Baroness leave anything for me? And you see outside as Kippo's running with, she'll understand, she has to. And she sees like a bunch of refugees nearby. He's like, God has helped them and helped me too. It's dangerous not to know. So now where would it be? And you see like poking around the library. And Oltu's like, you're lucky I was the one assigned to guard you tonight. And she just like freaks out. I was like, why did you fly here in such a hurry and in secret? And Kippa's like, I thought perhaps I could take a look at the mask fragment. It's like, that artifact is kept secure. I didn't think it would be easy to see it. It's like, but thank God you're here. You can help, right? And Oltu's like, give me one reason I should do something that foolish. It's like, well, all this time Miss had pieces of the mask, but she never tried to learn more about them. Maybe that was for the best. It was dangerous for her to handle them, maybe even think of them. But now, after everything I've seen, I believe we need to understand what they are for real. And Old Tooth is like, I'm a sailor, don't know much about ancient artifacts, but I bet my fins you're not qualified to do that work. You're a child. This is the half-wolf's responsibility, not yours. He's like, I'm a child who spent more time with Mr. Monster and the old gods than almost anyone else on this world. Besides, Miss has a lot on her mind right now. And Oltu's like, little fox, it's not that easy. And she goes, sa 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 sa. It's like, it's like that voice. It's like, come on, apparently you're getting what you want. And you see Old Tooth just like taking her down into the depths. Do you have Old Tooth? Have you heard anything about Lord Corvin? He's part of the Dusk Court and a friend. She's like, don't know that name. But if anyone is here from the dusk or dawn, they won't be flashing that connection if they're smart. Too many grievances between them and the Wave Court. It's like, about what? Old wars, maybe? Not sure even they remember. And you have, this is highly irregular. You see like a bunch of monkeys just guarding the doorway downstairs. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up really quick. Yeah, you see a bunch of monkeys just like guarding this secret little lab door downstairs. I was like, only the archivist and the commander come down here. We'll have to report this, you know. And Old was like, go ahead. My old fins can handle a little tongue lashing. Besides, we were invited. And Kip was like, I've seen these little ones before. So couldn't you hear the old one calling us? So you know we don't understand a word she says, and neither do you. And Old Tooth is like, I understand enough. And you see them going into like this little cavern with like this pool in the middle. And Kip was like, wait, is it a Dracule? Oh, this is wonderful! And you see like Dracule, I assume the one Kipper ran into before, with no mortal has ever said so to me. But my northern sister warned me that if I ever met you, that you would be a strange one. It's like, your sister? She thought about eating me, but was kind enough not to. And Old Tooth is like, you understood the Dracule, little one? It's like, oh yes, she has the most elegant way of speaking. It's like, bah. It's like, but it's true. How is your sister? It's like thinking of migrating here where the seas are warm and the underground isn't so lonely. Now enough talking. I was told to give you something. It's like, the mask? It's like, indeed. Who told you? So you already know, child. And if you don't, you will soon enough. And you see outside is Micah sitting at a table with, the fuck? And you see a note left to her by Tuya with, your father has 2 pieces of the mask, traded them for you. You also have a twin sister, the Beast. Blood Court Warlord. Use that connection, Tuya. And you see Micah going, I'm leaving today even if I have to swim. It's like, and I'm going to need witches. Tell Admiral Breeder to deliver some to the dock. And Saori's like, just like that? They're not fish. It's like, no, they're humans facing eradication. If they want a chance at survival, they have to fight. It's time to prove their worth or else they can all die now, which would be fine by me. And you see back with Ren and the spacewalkers. Yeah, have you all fulfilled your bargain with the proprietor? Give her a night's work. Can we go now? It's like, nah, got dishes to wash and these bottles need to be returned to the brewer. After that, who knows? I might stay on. He's like, I'll open my own cafe and adopt many orphans to train in the art of assassination so that I may destroy my rivals and build an underworld empire. And you see Fisher's be like, a little shocked face, like he's teasing kid. It's like, no, I am serious. It's like everything we knew is gone. We're coming to terms with that in our own way. Give us a moment. And Ren's like, what moment? There's a war going on. And only Ubasti knows what's left Golga with us. You're needed. It's like, really? Cats seem to have gotten on just fine without us for the last few thousand years. And you have the high priestess, whoever it was, going, Ren, these maps are incomplete. Where's the rest of the world, the other two continents? It's like, as I've said before, there's only one. But you have me questioning everything I thought was fact. And she's like, continents can't be destroyed. It's like, can't they? It's happened in other worlds. It's like, no. It's as if everyone suffered a cataclysmic amnesia. Christ. God damn it. I don't know what the title of this video is going to be. It's like, no offense, but it's just not true that everything's been forgotten, at least not in Wavecourt territory. Out here, we call those other places lost. No one can reach them, ships try, but never come back. It's like, you fish are an example of how Ubasti always provides. And you have an as the priest walks and goes, how ought to find you? Oh, Christ. Now I got two titles for this. I've come to see the necromancer, Ren Memorian. I have a message from the temple. The poet was quite insistent that you receive it with haste. It's like, do you know these cats, honored necromancer? It's like, they're my associates. It's like, well, they claim to be. It's like, yes, I know. It's like, why would you indulge their madness? He's like, Ubasti has many secret tales, priest. Who are you to assume you know all of them? And he's just silent before he goes, I'll be going now. If you need anything, necromancer. And he's like, So I'll have to leave these islands soon. Are you going to stay or come with me? It's like, what's out there except more fighting? More reminders of what we've lost? It's like, perhaps answers. And Ren goes, when I was on Golga, I was told by an apparition that I had to bring you all back to this world. And I think I was delivered there for just that purpose and other reasons. What you do with your return is up to you. But you should know that Ubasti and her representatives wanted it. It's like, so when I say you're needed, I know it must be true. And you see with a Granny, I'm sorry I brought these strangers here. It's like, you did exactly the right thing, Lila. Pay them when they come for their wages. I'm going for a walk. And you see back in the same cave with the Dracul, with the bleh, just splits out this red box. And as Kippa runs to catch it, she's like, doesn't it hurt to store things inside of you? It's like, not at all. I have extra stomachs that serve no function on this world. Why wouldn't I make them useful? And he's like, just how much are you carrying around inside you? It's like, none of your business. Besides, isn't that enough? And as Kippa opens it, she sees the mask fragment. It's like, Kippa, that thing is very dangerous. And as she picks it up, she imagines like little baby Micah going, careful, something has changed. It's like, since Golga? It's like, yes. It's like, I don't think you should do this as Kippa picks it up. It's like, but something is here. I have to find it. I have to help. And you have an ow! As someone grabs her hair. Jeff, how many times have I told you not to come into my lab, little wolf? But again and again you disobey me. What the hell do you think you're going to find? The artifacts here are priceless and not safe even for me. You see Kippa gasping as she sees a furious Moriko grabbing her hair. It's like, Moriko Half-Wolf. It's like, oh, so we're on a first name basis now, are we? That impertinence will get your other ear boxed. And you hear, it's activating? It's like, you have to help your daughter. It's like, not now, Micah. It's like, our father has taken Zin away. And Moriko looks at her and goes, I haven't spoken that name yet. It's like, he's using Zin as a weapon. Please, do you know how to... And you see Moriko just kind of grabbing her face and going, you're not my daughter. It's like, I was like, don't say another word. I will have to revisit all my theories. It's like, so I was right. She is the one. That fool stole the old god away. It's like, they are truly awake. It's like, yes, they used to argue all the time, but now I think they're friends. She's like, friends? How tragic for them. It's like, tell Boy Wolf to find the razor light. And don't you ever possess her body again. whoever you are. And Kip was like, I'm only trying to help. And you see, like, Moriko's got the rest of the masterpiece under this mirror. So what you are doing is more dangerous than you realize. Let us see if this jolt brings my daughter back. And you see her, like, zapping some energy into the mask. And you see the vish, as you see Kippo just, like, splayed out on the floor of the cave. As Eureka's like, Old Tooth, how could you let her do something so foolish? And the Dracula's like, the blame is mine, Scholar. The child has been marked by the... And Kippo's like, where's Miss? And you see outside as Yuta's just like reading a little book. And as Micah walks up to her, she goes, I know who you are now. I'd be surprised if you didn't. You're Tuya's clone after all. Is that her before name? She's only the Baroness to me. It's like, she destroyed all the others. She was going to kill me too. I don't know why she didn't. And Michael's like, no one's perfect. The Baroness said that when you woke up, you might finish what she couldn't. It's like, you're her problem, not mine. It's like, barely that. Unless the Dust Court restores the vats, I'll be the last Baroness. It's like, what happened to the Dust Court? It's like, you lost your mind and attacked the city. You were stopped by one of the warlords, the Beast, and then the Lord Doctor took you away along with the fox and cat. You have scars, don't you? The Baroness said they experimented on you all, but I don't know what they did. It's like, why did Tuya save us? It's like, were you saved? Seems as though you lost everything. It's like, I'm alive. I've lost nothing. But you're no longer useful. Why else would the Lord Doctor let you go? The Baroness traded for your corpses. It's a pretty steep price for a corpse. It's like, I wouldn't have paid it. The masked fragments are worth more than you, now that you've lost the old god. It's like, do you know how the Lord Doctor took Zin from me? It's like, no, maybe the ancients helped him. Part of a peace agreement. Peace for them, but for no one else. So, they can always have more children. Humans are cheap to come by. They breed quickly. It's like, where is the Baroness now? It's like, dead, I hope. I'll come into my power faster, and I won't have to worry about her returning to kill me. It's like, maybe you'll die before then. Now move, you're coming with me to Theria. It's like, why? I'm no good at fighting. It's like, you're a child. I don't need you to fight. But you're like Tuya. Smart. I need that more. Yes, you has up above, you have Sari watching this with, I'm not scheduled to sit with the Elder Council until the full moon. It's like, this couldn't wait. I had some odd visitors. And you see Thecla's visiting her. Like, oddities abound these days, Thecla. It's like, these were especially odd. They call themselves world walkers is what it is. And called our kind Jagarath. And Sari's silent before she goes, Ubasti has long tails, old friend. As the seers predicted, this is no ordinary war. A new world will be born from the outcome. It's like, or the old world. And you see back with the Lord Doctor, he's attached like some machinery. Jeff Crom, has your access to the Shaman Empress's technology alleviated your guilt and abandoning your fellow Dust Court ancients? And he goes, I am a scientist, Lord Doctor, and a pragmatist. Cooperation leads to advancement. The others will thank me later. And you see, indeed, you see like Zin's little tentacles like flashing out of his arm. He goes, besides, you might be stronger than the ancients at this moment. And you see like an Arcanix that's tied down nearby. And the doctor goes out to feed on him. He's like, but you need our knowledge too. The ancients understand the stars after all. Better even than Zin. He's like, And the beast walks in and goes, Father, the gull that went missing in the Spice Islands finally returned, carrying a message from the half-wolf. He's like, of course. What does she say? And you see, it's just a daughter, like a picture of like the Lord Doctor and Micah looking happier. Let me just quickly try to flip to it. So it's like a little just drawing of like a happy family. And he goes, what a dirty thing fight this is going to be. So you have chapter 52. You have 3 months ago, Federation territory, and you have a boom, 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 as like a bunch of missiles getting fired off. Yeah, feed it faster, they're coming! It's like, where are the Kumeyo? We need reinforcements! It's like, fuck, their tanks are here! And here, for the blood! The blood! There's a bunch of Blood Court soldiers just rushing in, and some of them are getting exploded apart. You have no mercy to humans! Kill them all! As they're stabbing and like shooting through them. You have fight this, you demons! You have lilium gas, you have masks! As someone put gas masks on. Yeah, focus. Remember your training. So we are the righteous ones. Soldiers of faith. It's like, that's right. Remember. Jeff, remember your place, demon. As you see one of them getting shot through the head. And the Lord Doctor slices that one up. Jeff, it is time for humans to remember their place. God. And you see him just looming above him with like a specter with like all these tentacles flying out of him. And Jeff, aye! It's like, he has come to save us. The blood is light, the blood is life. It's like, what is that thing? It's like, the demon. It's like, well, fuck me. It's like, Miriam, save us. Like, no, 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 no. It's like, the blood is light, the blood is life. And you see a shook as a spear gets sent flying and pierces him through the chest. And he goes, a weapon made from the bones of my kind. And the doctor pulls it out and goes, I suppose this would have hurt you before, but not now. Yeah, did you see that? He can't be killed. It's like, oh shit. It's like, run, run, run while he's distracted. And you see as the riders are nearby, I can't remember what their names were, be like, send a message to the warlord. The weapon we gave the Federation didn't work. And you see as he's like laying out like fucking wolf Jesus with like the tentacles splayed out going, there is nowhere you can run. Feed your new god. Jeff, our magnificence, our blessed one. The blood is light. And you see him just like absorbing the energy of all the thousands of soldiers. Jeff, this is the latest footage smuggled out of the Federation. The Blood Court has taken significant losses over the last 6 months, but the Lord Doctor always participates in the most decisive battles. And you see what happens then. You see, 2 weeks ago, the Spice Islands. Yeah, that fusion of human and old god is an abomination. And Micah's like, there are others like him and me, the Mother Superior and her brood for starters. And Sauri's like, would they help us? It's like, that's what I intend to find out. And Ren's like, you faced an army of old gods. How did you stop them? Jav, the ancients helped, as did the Jaggerath and the other great ones who had fled to this world. But the tide only turned when Zin betrayed their own kind. And Michael's like, fortunately, we're not fighting an army of old gods. Only one, who, as you point out, has a habit of betrayal. We can win this. And then Sauri's like, you have a plan? Because I haven't heard one, Wolf. Gathering intelligence is well and good, but action is needed. Fast. Blood Court troops are moving east into Arcanic territory. Their propaganda machine is smoothing the way, but any resistance will be met with maximum force. And Micah goes, that's someone else's problem, Sauri. Rescuing Sazi and getting Zin back won't come down to who's got the biggest gun. It's just me against the old man, and I have to be smarter than him. It's like, so you're saying you don't have a plan? You have, I wonder if our weapons are still below Katara? And Ren's like, below? Excuse me? And Rekka's like, we've overlooked something. What does your father value, Micah? And she's like, power. It's like, any kind of power? It's like, no, the most ancient kind. The Shaman Empress has a lab beneath Pontus, and my father destroyed Aurum to access another of her labs. And Rekka's like, Micah, where did the Shaman Empress consolidate her power against the Dusk and Dawn courts? It's like, fuck. Sauri's like, what are we missing here? So there must be labs beneath all these Federation cities that the old man seized. It's like, in those labs, weapons and technology? It's like, yes, but also, he must be searching for the rest of the mask. It's like, the damnable thing, is it really so dangerous? It's like, yes, the old man's not aiming his army east just to conquer. It's like, then we must find these labs first, wherever they are, and hold them for ourselves. And the cat's like, if I might interrupt, what you called Nyanshi used to be called Nanshira. That is where the last battle against the old gods began. This was before the time of your Shaman Empress. But if you're interested in technologies that proved useful against Zin and their kind, you might still find some there, if it hasn't been looted. And Mike is silent before she goes, and Sauri, prepare your best fighters to set sail. And Kippa's like, Miss, it's just not true that you don't have a plan. You have everything you need. You have your own piece of the mask. You have your connection to Mr. Monster. And Michael's like, and my father underestimates me. I have that too. And you see in the present as they're setting sail on a ship, you see Kippa's kind of like tossing and turning as she's back in her dream world. He's like, hello? Is anyone there? And she sees like this orange like light flame around her hands, and she wakes up with a gasp. And she sees Micah sitting at the mirror kind of like staring at her eye tattoo. And she's like, what did you think they did to us? It's like, nothing good. I'm tempted to open myself up to see if anything was left inside. It's like, the incision isn't fresh, but it's not fully healed either. And Kippa's like, don't, miss. It's like, the surgery must have happened after I lost Zin. And Kippa's like, your father cut us all open, but Master Ren and I are no ones to him, except for how we're connected to you. Maybe he was trying to find a way to make you up? He's like, that's a bit generous given how we let Tuya take our bodies off his hands. Speaking of which, you were a fool to handle a mask. He's like, you didn't finish your lunch. Aren't you hungry? It's like, don't change the subject. And she's silent before she goes, I had to do it, miss, and I'm fine. Burns aren't that bad. And Micah's like, you shouldn't have been burned in the first place. I'm angry you hurt yourself. He's like, miss, like, shut it. I should have done what you did, long ago. Asked questions, pushes in to help, taking those fragments in hand. It's like, no, you were right to be wary. We've seen what happens every time you use the mask. And she's like, that's exactly why I need to master it. Now my father will have that power. She's like, maybe it's better that way. I've seen. So you already told me. You saw my mother. Did you see something else? And she sighed before she goes, no. It's like, I just don't think the master's safe for you. Not ever. And we see Areka walking in with Micah. The area is in sight, but we've got a problem. And you see on board a bunch of the Khmer, like, having glowing hands, like, in their glowing hands, they're going, we volunteered to be here as a gesture of goodwill between the Federations and the Wave Corps. We're putting our lives on the line to help. It's like, shit, I knew this was a mistake. You see some Arcanics going, you can help Witch by earning us a profit. No different from what you commanded to our kind, except maybe you'll live. And you see the pirate captain from before going, a gull came in with updated reports from Theria. Seems the bounty on witches has gone up substantially. You have, who's the captain, Sarissa? You or a purse full of gold? So what did you expect when you forced us to sail with our worst enemy? 2 weeks crammed together and there'd be no violence? Be grateful it's not you they're cornering. My crew hasn't forgotten the last time we sailed together. It's like, fuck them. We weren't at war before. It's like, we're not your enemies and I never killed an Arcanic. And you see, submit! It's like, but your white hair means you took our Lilium into your body. You have to stay out of my head. It's like, you dare use your powers on us? It's like, you ungrateful animal. It's like, oh, we dare. If you touch her, I'm going to tear you apart. That throat's getting dry. I see Micah just coming in, punching everyone with, fucking enough. And you, stay down. You have to stay out of this, half-wolf. I can feel them weakening. It's like, witch powers don't work for long on us. It's like, long enough. It's like, you idiot, I need this Kumeya alive. He's like, ugh, then you can join them at the auction, traitor. And you see, payback for Seizies, one of them gut punches her. Says, more where that came from. And as Micah's picking up blood, he's like, come on, half-wolf. It's like, careful, she's ripped off limbs for less. And you hear her, yes, I think we're good here. Everyone had their fun, but let's put it away. Esther is walking in and they're like, we didn't come here to be sold off, Captain. It's like, no, you came to fight. We all did. He's like, feh, you fuckers are wasting your energy on the wrong enemy. And Cuba's like, something's wrong. Areka's like, a lot is wrong. Be more specific. It's like, Miss is weak. It's like, she didn't seem all that weak just now. It's like, I've seen Miss fight a lot. This was different. And Areka's like, she's recovering. It's been a year. And you see Yuta going, the fox is right. The half-wolf isn't just tired, she's damaged. You really thought she would lose the old god and still be as formidable? And Areka's like, her grandmother's the wolf queen. It's like, yes, and I've heard the wolf is strong in her. But so what? We're all part ancient. Question is, which parts? And how soon before her foes realize how vulnerable she is? And you see some of the cats watching with finally some entertainment. It's like more like terror. It's like, I never liked seeing the old gods lurking in the skies, but now I really hate it. It's like, the High Lord Sentinels in their dreaming. I suppose if we can see them, they haven't yet cracked the prison. And Ren's like, some of them must have, like Rana. It's like, if so, they'll reveal themselves. The hunger of the old gods was never subtle. But until then, you should be exploring your world walk abilities. It's like, Ubasti saw you fit to grant you the talent. Clearly she likes a good joke. And he's like, pardon me, but I have duties. It's like, yes, to Ubasti. By her grace, I'll resurrect the world walkers if it's the last thing I do. Starting with you, Ren. And you see as the ship's getting unloaded, you have, man, shouldn't we be hiding? You have reports indicate that the Blood Court hasn't begun to interfere with trade from the Spice Islands. They hold the city but haven't put the choke on it yet. It's like, we might as well take advantage of that. And you see Areka going, you don't think the soldiers have been told to look for you now that your father knows you're awake? So that would be an inefficient use of resources. And Yuta's like, the half-wolf is predictable. The Lord Doctor already knows where she'll go. Any element of surprise was destroyed the moment she sent a missive to him. So there are surprises and then there are surprises. What I don't have is enough information. If it means my stroke sticking my head in the mouth of a serpent, I will. And Eureka is like, you're definitely taking a risk by using the witches. It's like, it's worth it. There must be a command underground here in Theria, their own spy network. They would never talk to us. And you see one of the blood soldiers calling out, come on, don't be shy. There's plenty for everyone. You'll get seconds if you're still hungry. Here's something warm. And go down the street to see the healers. They have medicine. And Kippo's like, this doesn't feel like like an invading army, miss. Maybe people are happy the blood court is here. I don't see anyone going hungry in the streets like the last time we were in Theria. It's like they gave me work and housing in the new encampment. And you see fucking propaganda posters with, to victory, join the blood court. Up and at 'em, fight for peace. And she's like, it's propaganda. None of it is real. And she's like, it's real to the people being helped. And you see Yuta just putting up her hood as she goes, more real and more attractive than the possibility of imminent doom. Proles are so easy to control. And Kippo's like, you're very rude. And Eureka's like, lives are destroyed because of the blood court. You think those same refugees will forget that even while they're being fed? And Micah's like, some of them will have already forgotten because they want to forget. Kippa and Yuta might be right. The old man knows that collective amnesia is the oldest and easiest weapon to manufacture. He's playing a better game than the Dusk or Dawn courts ever did. Even if the witches knew you needed the people behind you, especially if you rule them with... Or even the witches knew you need the people behind you, especially if you rule them with an iron fist. You hear a juicy dumplings, leek and chicken, spicy, sweet. And Eureka's a goddess, I remember her. She was telling treats here when we were children. It's like for good reason. And you see her whispering, Kenzie said you'd be coming. Been watching Moriko's home for days. Everything's quiet. Far as I know, I'm the only eyes here. As he asks Micah's eating some dumplings, she goes, that seems unlikely. Here, have this. I don't want it. It's like, miss, you haven't been eating enough. You can't let your hunger get... It's like, you're not hungry? It's like, if you don't want it, fine. And Yuta's like, didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you, Fox? And Eureka's like, what was that about? And as Micah's chewing, he's like, nothing important. And you see Temple of Ubasti Theria. Jeff Priestess Redeemer. Is it possible? It's like, yes. One of the Stars temples still stands, even if it's no longer remembered as such. And you see, I admit I was astonished when I received word of your awakening. It's got grateful Ubasti's miracle, poet Jadala. It's like, that's all you have to say? It's like, what else is there? You could explain why after such a miracle, the first thing you did was arrange contact with me. It was flattering, or very suspicious. And Ren's like, neither. I'm still a patriot no matter what you think of me. And while the world has changed my position, my position has not. I'm still close to the half-wolf who's the clearest threat to the Lord Doctor. She's the true inheritor of the blood. It's like, we can use that against him. He's like, ha. It's like, you find that funny? It's like, don't you? Think of all the strum and dragging, all the tail wagging and pulled whiskers over the half-wolf's birth. The efforts we made to track her and her mother, and all for naught. What a joke. And Ren's like, no, it's not. It's like the poets and necromancers are close to finalizing an alliance with the Lord Doctor, Ren. In return for certain concessions, our cities and temples will be spared and protected. Never again will our territories be overrun by arcanics, humans, or ancients. Even Ravenna will be ours again. And he goes, what does the Lord Doctor want that he couldn't just take? He has the old god. And she's like, a weapon of mass destruction. Produces mass destruction. He doesn't want everything destroyed. He just wants it under his control. He's like, that would fit with what I know of him. So what are the concessions? And she's silent before she goes, we don't yet know. Favors, he said, but nothing that would harm cats. Ren's like, that is very broad. It's again, you are very little, Ren Memorian. This is not your concern anymore. He's like, am I no longer assigned to the half-wolf? And she's like, as of this moment, you are being recalled to the Necromancer Temple in Zamora, which has been liberated from the Federation. For your years of service, you are to be granted priesthood and a home, and a very generous stipend. He's like, I'm honored. Who among the necromancers authorized this? So I can thank them. He's like, you know I'm not close with your kind. Necromancer blah blah, what does it matter? He's like, it doesn't, and I won't keep you any longer. Seems I have a journey to plan. So you're expected to depart by this evening. I've arranged transport. Until then, keep your contact with the half-wolf and the fox to a minimum. And he bows and goes, understood. He's like, just out of curiosity, do we know how the Lord Doctor stole the old god from his daughter? It's like, apparently it was quite easy. Our spies tell us that he induced death. Many times, in fact. But it was not until he also induced death in the fox and you that the transfer happened. Very odd, isn't it, that the three of you are connected somehow? God, fucking Christ. And you see Gren just reaching out and snapping her neck with a crack. It was very odd. And you post would have torn me apart until you found out why. And he uses necromancer skills to summon her spirit. And he walks out of the door and goes, thank you again, your eminence. And you're quite welcome, necromancer. And you see back in the temple with, there was a door here. So my tales say it still exists. So I'll take the explosives to get back. It'll take explosives to get back there. And Ren's like, we're leaving now. Do not ask questions, just move. And it's like, everyone out. He's like, but it's like, now. You see he's dumped the poet into the pond where the fish are already eating at her. And you see later with, this isn't where I saw your mother in my vision. It's like, I didn't think so. Not if she's experimenting on the mask fragment. And Eureka's like, these books on the Shaman Emperors are priceless. The seal of the Dawn Court is not on them. Not even the Wave Core archive has a copy. And Michael's like, take them. And you see Yuta just like putting on some bracelets, and Kip was like, that's not yours. It's like, mind your business and gather your own loot. You'll need something to trade out there in case this all goes sideways. And you see Michael opening up a closet and like seeing like the handprints on the back door. And she opens it up and then walks down to like this basement. She meets her sister, the Beast, who goes, hello, half-wolf. So the last time we met, you were out of your mind. I took you down, almost had to kill you. And Micah's like, I'm not here to fight. It's like, yes, you are. The Lord Doctor wants to speak with you. The easiest place is in dreams. He just has like a vial with like purple liquid. He's like, I've slept enough. It's like, take it or not, I don't care. But you're the one who sent the message. The effects are temporary. For some reason, he still wants you alive. And she takes the vial. She's like, and you don't? And she opens it, downs it, goes, my friends are upstairs. Don't harm them. He's like, or what? You'll get revenge? And as Michael lays down, she goes, revenge? No, nothing like that. I just won't ever be your sister. As we get chapter 53. Let me just see how many pages are left in this. If I can. 141, 20 more pages? Yeah, that's fine. We'll go through it. Because I know it's coming up on like an hour, but that's fine. And you see as the Beast is watching, or you see Yuta coming down going, you should kill her while you have the chance. So the Baroness would say the same about you. It's like, I'm not an immediate strategic risk. It's like, neither was the half-wolf. It's like, I held a similar opinion, but now I believe I was wrong. The half-wolf was still dangerous. The Baroness wouldn't have saved her otherwise, and you wouldn't be here. It's like, you don't understand the Baroness and half-wolf as well as you think. Feels like you're trying to make a deal. It's like, I'm trying to survive. And the Beast is like, has anyone threatened you? It's like, being with the half-wolf is a threat. You know that better than anyone. It's like, it might not seem so, but my father values a certain kind of loyalty. As do I. You should practice some for longer than a day before trying to make deals that are built on trust. And you see the next page, Micah goes, I know you're watching me. Stop hiding. It's like, I suppose I shouldn't have let the Baroness convince me to give you up. But I did want those masks. And as Micah walks up to her, she goes, and Zin. It's like, only when it seemed you would never wake. And look what's been accomplished. The Kumeyan Federation have been defanged, and the ancients are learning their place. It's like using my strength, my power, which you wasted. It's like, you still owe me, Father. It's like, do I? I freed you of a terrible burden. Isn't that recompense enough? And she's like, you have Seizi. He's like, but I've gotten attached. So you can't be more attached than me. I'm taking what's mine. He's like, you? In which army? He's like, He's like, I suppose that was beneath me. You returned to the world and found everything and yourself utterly changed. I am sympathetic to your suffering and my hand in it. So, perhaps we could come to another arrangement. My spies tell me you have a fragment of the mass. Give it to me and I will return Seizi. And she's like, no. And if I threaten to kill him, go ahead. His family already thought he was dead. They've mourned. You're not getting the mask. I gained clarity while I was gone. I should have appreciated what I had. And he goes, could it be you might consider joining me? So as you pointed out, my burden has been lifted. How exactly am I useful anymore? You wouldn't even be able to trust me. And you hear, Lord Doctor, your meal has arrived. Time grows short. And he goes, family isn't about trust, daughter, or love. It's about survival. Something you and I have been so very skilled at. And she's like, I'll be seeing you soon, Father. When you hear where I've been this last year, you might find what I know an even better trade than the mask. It was doubtful, but intriguing. I look forward to our reunion. And as he's walking away, she can see like Zin's shadow on his back. You're a miss! It's like, you have to stop falling unconscious. I nearly lost my tail from the stress. And Eureka's like, Micah, it's like, stop hovering, I'm fine. It's like, what happened? I thought I saw someone else in the house, but they slipped away. So I'll explain later. Any luck finding information about the razor light? It's like, nothing yet. Except for this photo, the same one you carried around forever, which had that word written on the back. Why did your mother write on this? And Micah's like, both of you, keep looking. Eureka, see if you can find anything on the other hidden labs. And Tuya's like, you should leave me here too. These fools clearly require superior intelligence. And you hear, where the fuck are Half-Wolf and the others? It's like, well, someone's been here. And you see the wayfinders outside. Oh, thank you, Basti. I have a great deal to tell you, Half-Wolf. It's like, does that helm look familiar, or is it just me? Yeah, let's start with how the necromancer murdered a poet and interrogated her ghost. Finally, I'm impressed. And I was like, what is wrong with you? And Micah's like, I don't have much time. What did you learn? It's like, the poet revealed how your father took Zin from you, but her ghost told me more. Where Seizi's being held, and why. And that your father has only 2 pieces of the mask. The Mother Superior possesses a 3rd. And Micah's like, I have another. So where's the 5th fucking piece? And you have, is someone there? Child? Beloved? And you hear silence. Yeah, if it is you, my captor, then hear me well. I was terror itself. I escaped the enemy, great foe, broke the chains of the Servac, sent my own kind hurtling to their despair. I will not let you hold me. I will not allow it. I see more like the red ropes tying up around Zin. I'm sure you did all those things, Zin, but that was another life, one that you chose to give up for your children, your great miracle. Jeff, you are not my miracle. And you see back at the doctor's lab with, blood transfusion is complete. You may begin the experiment. And you see, it has always been my impression that you lost much of your power when you merged yourself to flesh. But you and my daughter surprised me in Ravenna. You both took a new form, unlike any I have found in their histories of our deep memories. A form not even the Shaman Empress managed to coax from you. Micah wants what is owed to her, so do I. Yeah, you are not her. And I feel the strain in your body and mind. You cannot last. And you see like electric just like crackling off him. And he goes, I am more than my daughter. My will is stronger. And Zin's like, is it? He goes, he's like, fool. There is a difference between cooperation, no matter how unwilling, and coercion, no matter how persuasive. And he's like, how did Micah convince you? He's like, she let me into her mind, freely, without limits. Perhaps, if you do the same, he's like, I think not. We all need our secrets. Goes, then secrets matter more than power. You see a tiny tank like slipping off of Zin and heading outside. Oh, what the fuck, bro? Is he making fucking Micah clones? You have to check the output for the mask fragments. We can't risk another surge. And you have Crom in his little snake lab with, these bodies are decaying too quickly. We won't be able to draw more blood from them after today. Not that the treatments are working. Good. It's like, I hate this place. I hate what we're doing. There's a reason the ancients never searched hard for this thing. It's going to kill us all. Yeah, so you see them making Micah, Zin like fucking half clones. They're like draining all the blood from them. I'll skip the Professor Tam Tam so I don't think that's all important. Yeah. So we have chapter 54, and you see Eureka and the others just pouring through the library looking for notes and things. And you have Michael like taking up the mask fragment with, Miss, no! It's like, shut up, I'm trying to focus. It's like, show me something. Show me the other fragments. Show me what I need. Show me what I need. You see you're like enveloped in the orange energy. You have, beloved, if the mask is so dangerous, then destroy it. This plan, dispersing the fragments, hiding them, is madness. The mask will be remade one day, and then what? And you have the Shaman Empress going, the experiment continues. This research requires time I do not have, and so I entrust it to you and the future, whoever that future might be. But there are safeguards in. The razor light will permit no imposters to trespass. It's like, but will those on the other side permit me? And you see Baby Mikey going, no, you must stop remembering. Someone is. And you see back in the real world, fuck, fuck, fuck. It's like, I was so close. It's like, missed your hand. It's like, I'm fine. The pain was in my head. And Eureka's like, I heard shouting. It's like, the razor life isn't a weapon. I think it's a place. It's like, what? How can you be? It's like, I need to go out. And Kippa's like, what did you see? Oh, sorry. Eureka's like, what did you see? It's like, wait. And you see Kippa's eyes glowing as like her nose starts bleeding. He's like, why? Why does my blood look so strange? And as she looks behind her, she imagines like the hungry, gaping mouths like forming on her now. Sorry, let me see if I can quickly scroll to that on here. So give me a second, almost there. Yeah. So you can just imagine like all the mouths like gaping, closing on her. Oh, fuck. Did he implant pieces of Micah inside? Or like the clones, did he implant like pieces of them inside of Kippa and Ren? Is like why he cut them open? And he's, as you see like all these tentacles and things like piercing through Sazy as they're torturing him. And Jav, he still resists, Lord Doctor. I cannot retrieve the information. His kind have 9 penetrable minds. In the old days we could never break them. And the doctor's like, torture is rarely effective, Crom, no matter the species. Torture never illuminates, only annihilates. Moriko chose well, as always. And Sazy's like, she was smarter than you, better. You could not win against her. Couldn't even take back the daughter who broke your inheritance. You had to wait until she died before you made your move. Now, she still defies you, and you see like more blood bleeding out. And you have one of the automatons going, Lord Doctor, a war master has arrived. He said this is urgent you see him. And you see Sazy going, we'll tell you one thing Moriko shared with me. She called you a terrible father. Oh, god damn. Is he telling Crom, amputate his leg and send it to my chef. He goes, think on this, Sazy. What is more important to you? Surviving to fight another day or your pride? He goes, neither. Micah matters more to me than any of those things. You should feel the same. Ugh, and you see as like across the leg and start cutting it off. Because you don't, I must fight even harder for her as he screams. And you see as the blood soldiers going, the blood is life as the doctor walks by them. He goes, huh? How am I here? You have the same way you always arrive. It's like, no, explain yourself. You are not permitted to summon me. It's like, I did nothing. It's like, you think you can deceive me? And Zin's like, do you hear that? It's like, Lord Doctor, your heart rate is alarming. He's like, quiet. Do not speak of this. It's like, as you wish. He walks into a meeting with one of the hybrid Inquisitrixes and with Corvin. He goes, War Master Corvin de Oro. Reaper Zordia. Be swift. It's like, I don't know if I can, Lord Doctor. Last night, Sentinus Poe's troops were attacked in the foothills outside the city. 300 soldiers dead, killed by infernal energy. No witnesses left alive. As you'll see in my report, all the normal precautions were taken. The night watch was the first to die. Others were in the middle of their meal and daily indoctrination. We found bodies a few hundred yards from the camp. We think they were trying to escape. The other war masters are concerned this is a new weapon, or worse, that they were fed on perhaps by the infiltrators among the Kamea. He's like, are you a fool? He's like, excuse me? He's like, I cannot read this gibberish. He's like, Christ. And you see as he looks at the page, it looks like just ancient symbols to him. When Corvin sees like an actual report with writing, he's like, my apologies, Lord Doctor. Because I took the liberty of having some corpses brought here. I've also begun strategizing with the other war masters for fair defense in case. It's like, I'll examine the bodies myself. You and the other war masters have more important matters to devote yourselves to. Learning how 300 soldiers died is of vital importance. I am fond of you, Lord de Oro, because you're one of the rare few who does not flinch when they see my divine form. You have fought alongside Zin. Who else can say that? But my fondness has limits. You have understood. And you have Zordia just making like a disgust face. She does a little sniff sniff. And you have the War Masters are in agreement that the Federation is broken. We can now begin turning our efforts towards the Dusk and Dawn courts. It's like, not quite. The Mother Superior has something I want. Nor can we ignore other arcanic cities vital to our long-term goals. For now, the Ancients are a distraction. I've sent an agent to broker a deal with them. He said, negotiations? You said the Dusk and Dawn would be destroyed. So they will be. Inform the War Masters that I'll be conferring with them over dividing our forces. I'll personally lead the expedition north to hunt down the Mother Superior and her ilk. It's like, you are dismissed. You see one of Zin's tentacles just writing something down on the map they were looking at as Zordia just kind of like wraps it up. And you have, yes, Lord Doctor. Yeah, that was very odd, Zordia. And you see, god damn, bro. You see two of the snakes, I think, making off with like Sazi's leg that they amputated, just kind of like humming to themselves. And you see Half-Wolf awake on the note. It's like, who wrote this? And she kind of just mentions like this. It's like, It's like, Zortia, no, I need a moment. It's like, I see. Look into it. It's like, but now I'm sure you and the other ancients have heard from Crom. Endless secret transmissions on all that the Lord Doctor is doing. Crom is a traitor to the Dusk Court, loyal to your master. It's like, I didn't know wolves could lie so well, but don't bother. We are aware she's a spy. And you see the Wolf Queen meeting with Yvette. You have Crom, however, is too useful to the Doctor to be in danger. And the Lord Doctor is too powerful for Crom's whispers to be a threat. Is against you, a Kumea? What use are you to the Lord Doctor? Is it perhaps I'm useful because of how well I know your family? It's like, get on with it. What are his terms? It's like, it's all contained here. A declaration of peaceful withdrawal from Jeff. He'd like the razor light. And the Wolf Queen just like grimaces. She goes, razor light? I'm pleased to report I have no idea what that means. And Yvette's like, unfortunately, I believe you. Jephtherians, gaze upon these blessed ones, anointed by the old god. Their life force is now entangled with the divine, and through them the old god can hear your prayers. It's like, sister, your nose is bleeding. Jeff, it is a physical manifestation of being near such an abundance of god power. It's like, the blood is a sign of your blessing. Come back and pray with us. And you see Micah just flashing a symbol as she goes into a Kamea hiding place. It's like, we made contact. It's like, but just who are you? We were transferred to an elite channel, an Inquisitrix. It was as if they were waiting to hear from you. You have witches, leave. You have Half-Wolf, over. You have Zzz, stand by, over. You have Zzz, Zzz, Gull here. Tell me something only the Half-Wolf would know, over. And she's like, you stuck your tongue down my throat, and I liked it, over. You have Zzz, it's like, Half-Wolf, you're just like, hello, Gull? It's like, Gull, answer me, over. Yeah, what was I just doing? You see Gull back in her world, like where she is hiding. Her nose is also bleeding. She's like, no, I won't let you. And she schlook in a hurry. It's like, we should have listened. It's like, so many teeth. And you see the other family members, the elder, all like stabbing her. It's like, thank you, soldiers, think you strong. It's like, resist, Gull. You must fight from the inside. It's like, your sister brother is far, far away. It's like, Half-Wolf, there was a breach. Anyone who's handled the mask is at risk. Excuse me. Jeff, kill yourself before the defilement possesses you. And you see the beast intercepting this with, we just missed the half-wolf. So, but you can still be easily caught. He's like, no, do nothing. Call off your agent. No one is to touch the half-wolf. Or any of her collaborators, no matter what. Is that clear? It's like, yes, War Master. It's like, good. I'm leaving Theria within the hour. The Lord Doctor requires my assistance. And yeah, what are you doing, Scrivener? It's like, writing a report. The Lord Doctor wishes daily updates on our negotiations, as do the War Masters. What is this razor light? It's not mentioned in the preparatory documents. And you see Yvette spearing her with a tentacle and going, nor shall it be. You have all hail. And you see the monkey just like grinning viciously nearby with, my eyes are not like the others. I can always see to the hidden heart of a thing. The prison has opened, hasn't it? The old gods emerged from their exile. It's like, soon enough. I have waited millennia to serve you, my master. And you see back with the doctor, you see his tattoos going from red to turning black. And he's like, Sin, what are you doing? And he's on his inner world's like, I told you, I do nothing. But we are not alone. Release me. Release these chains so I can fight. It's like, child, child! Is he back with Kippa's like, do you hear something? He's like, child, child, child! And you see Micah's tattoos also like transforming as you have mask bear, as like the black tentacles burst out of her chest. So you have, you are ours. Oh, fucking Christ, man, what an ending. Alright, so I guess quick thoughts on this chapter. So I really do appreciate the found family themes kind of being like enhanced, kind of being brought to the forefront in this volume where you have like, you know, Micah's allies and her family like standing by her side, you know, like she's finally starting to understand that she isn't alone. So I do really appreciate that in contrast with the themes of like the doctor being like, you know, you use family to survive. They're tools just for that. You know, there's no such thing as like blood or feelings, or none of that is necessary for this. So I did like those little bits. Apart from that, just a lot happened in this volume. Kind of like I think setting up for the final conflict and things. So you have like just a lot of information being thrown at you from the politics of what's been going on during the 1 year time skip with like what the doctor's been up to, all the different machinations and stuff behind the scenes. I'm gonna have to go revisit the last volume to find out exactly who Gull was possessed by, and like the whole deal with that, because it's been so long. But yeah, very good, solid volume. Like I don't think there was ever a dull moment in this one. So I'm very much looking forward to where it's gonna go from here. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Hope you all did too. As always, if you like this content, you know, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Because this video took so long, I might try to get out the next Bride story tomorrow. But still a lot of good stuff coming your way to look forward to. So yeah, until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.